Silly season dominoes are continuing to fall as it is expected that Corey LaJoie will return to Spire Motorsports for multiple years starting in 2024. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel and welcome back to our video. As I just said a second ago, silly season dominoes are continuing to fall as it was reported by Jordan Bianchi just a few minutes ago that Corey LaJoie and Spire Motorsports are working on finalizing a multi-year contract extension, sources have told The Athletic. The deal is expected to be completed in the coming weeks. This is not majorly shocking or majorly surprising. Corey LaJoie has driven for Spire Motorsports since the start of the 2021 season, and every year Corey LaJoie has continued to improve. And so far in the 2023 season, Corey LaJoie has basically ran in the top 20 to top 25 in points. At points, has also been competing for the playoffs and has scored a couple top 10s so far in the 2023 season. It has been extremely consistent and has been really, really good in the 2023 season. Also, he's had substitution for Hendrick Motorsports in 2023, albeit that run did not go good. But you have to remember, Hendrick Motorsports has not historically been really, really good at Gateway. Also, he didn't have a lot of time to practice. There was issues with the tech and the S&T data that would have really helped Corey LaJoie due to the lighting issues and the rain issues that had impacted Gateway. And Corey overall just did not have a good performance there. But I have considered Corey LaJoie to be a really strong driver, and I think Spire Motorsports knows how good of a driver Corey LaJoie is. So I think keeping Corey LaJoie around long term makes a lot of sense. Now, the big question is going to be, how long is Corey LaJoie going to stay at Spire Motorsports? Well, as I decided, it's going to be a multi-year deal. My guess is probably going to be a 2 to 3 year extension up until 2024 or 2025, because I think that they believe in Corey LaJoie. And Corey LaJoie, like I said, has been a really big impact and a really big help. I think Corey LaJoie is truly one of the most underrated drivers in the NASCAR Cup Series garage. So like I said, I think this is a fantastic and great move overall for the Spire Motorsports group, and I think he's going to continue to improve this team. Going into next year, I don't think he's going to make the playoffs in 2023 unless he can get a win at some point. I think going into 2024, I think that he could honestly have a shot at making the playoffs. We've seen an uptick in performance for Spire Motorsports. But one of the things I think Spire Motorsports is going to have to do is they're going to have to downsize their program from 2 cars to 1 car. One of the things I've said about Spire is I think if they only focus on Corey LaJoie, unless they get someone in or like maybe Carson Hocevar or maybe like someone else out of nowhere, like somehow Mark Andretti perhaps, or someone out of nowhere gets a shot and opportunity to get in one of their cars, like an Austin Hill perhaps got a shot and opportunity to drive in a second Spire car. I don't see them really doing great with 2 cars. Personally, I think they should downsize to 1 entry because I think Corey LaJoie would do more fantastic. They have put a lot of focus in Corey LaJoie, but I think if they downsize to 1 entry, they would do awesome and a very good job. Because I think I think Corey LaJoie has done a really awesome and a really good job with the Spire Motorsports equipment for this year. And I think that team is continuing to improve on a week-by-week basis. And especially with the investment of Gamebridge coming into play, I think that's going to be a lot of money coming into play, which they can use that money, which of course they're going to be sponsoring Ty Dillon and Corey LaJoie for 16 races throughout the season. That money is going to be used to invest in making the Spire Motorsports equipment much better. And I truly believe that you're going to see Corey LaJoie get better as a race car driver. I think going to 2024, I think that Corey LaJoie is going to win multiple different races, and not win, but I think he's going to be competitive. I think he will compete for plus, and I think he'll get some top 10s and maybe a couple occasional top 5s. I think he's going to improve. I think he's going to get better, and I think this is a great move overall for the Spire Motorsports group. And let's be honest with ourselves, where was Corey LaJoie going to go? There were a couple of potential rides available. Obviously, the Woodburns had a possibility of losing Harrison Burton, but it sounds like at this point with the Dex Imaging sponsorship and Harrison Burton trying to improve, I think Harrison Burton is going to return to the 21, so that ride was likely not going to be available. You did have the 31 car for College Racing, but it sounds like more than likely than not that Justin Haley is going to return to driving for College Racing in the 2024 season. You did have rumblings that Trackhouse was looking to expand a 3-car program, and Corey LaJoie having the highest name up in the totem pole if they were going to expand. But it doesn't sound like at this point that they're going to expand a 3rd full-time car unless, of course, they do potentially give Shane Van Gisbergen a way to get him a charter. Maybe Shane Van Gisbergen goes full-time with that team. You did have the 10 car for Stuart Haas Racing, but it sounds more than likely that Eric Almirola is going to retire, and that ride likely is going to go to Zane Smith or Michael McDowell next season. At this point, though, things could change, and SHR can make some really crazy moves that we don't know at this point. But I think at this point, likely, you're going to see Zane Smith or am I going down in that ride? And obviously, Joe Gibbs Racing is not going to be an option considering the fact that Denny Hamlin and Mark Truex Jr. are likely going to return in 2024. We do know that Mark Truex Jr. has not made a decision yet in regards to 2024 at this point, but it sounds like more than likely a decision coming soon. I would imagine that you're going to end up seeing him return to that number 19 car in the 2024 season. Overall, though, like I said, I think it's a great move to keep Corey LaJoie around long term. He's been building this team up, and I love Corey LaJoie as a race car driver. I know that Spire wants to be a really, really great team, and I think if they're going to continue to make great moves, I think that LaJoie is a driver that you got to continue working with to continue to make those really, really good moves. Another big question I have, though, is what happens with the second car for Spire Motorsports in 2024. If you wanted my opinion, unless Spire, like I said, goes after a driver like Austin Hill or maybe Kyle Weatherman, I do not, or Matt DiBenedetto perhaps, I think that they should downsize to one entry. I think they should sell it harder to a team like Junior Motorsports. We know that Junior Motorsports, there's been rumors that they want to jump up the cup heading into 2024. RCR basically could take one of those charters maybe and use it for Austin Hill because we know Austin Hill, he wants to go full-time cup racing in 2024. Maybe Track they try to pursue that second Spire entry as well for like Shane Van Gisbergen. But I think Ty Dillon has just been underwhelming this year. He's had a couple top 20s recently. I feel like 77 has been a little better. But if you want my honest opinion, I think that Spire should downsize to one car. Or maybe they give Carson Osbar a shot at opportunity. But I think at this point they should downsize to one entry and focus on one ride for Corey LaJoie to where they could focus on making that team much better. And maybe, just maybe, if the team continues to improve and Corey LaJoie starts making playoffs and runs for wins, I think that team could eventually improve and become a two-car operation once again. But I think Spire should downsize to one entry heading into the 2024 season. But going back and talking about Corey LaJoie, this is a really, really good move to keep him around long term. And I think he will do a very awesome and really good job with the Spire Motorsports Group heading into the 2024 season, which brings questions in regards to silly season. I think a lot of silly season moves are starting to happen behind the scenes, and I think this is the next big domino that is going to fall because I think silly season is going to be getting busy here, especially in the next couple weeks and especially in the next couple months as we're getting in the middle of July and people got to start planning for 2024. I think this is just the first domino that's going to fall, and there's a lot of chaos that is expected to happen in the coming weeks in regards to the NASCAR Cup Series silly season. So, that is going to be today's NASCAR breaking news story. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, and channel notifications on so if I win a video, does go live on my channel. On my Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Links description below that, and comment your thoughts on today's video. How do you feel about Corey LaJoie returning to Spire Motorsports heading into 2024? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Later today on the channel around 4 o'clock, there should be a race picks for the NASCAR Xfinity Series race. Then tomorrow on the channel, there should be 2025 NASCAR Cup Series driver lineup predictions potentially. And then maybe an update video or if any major NASCAR news breaks, we'll break that on the channel as well. Wednesday is going to be NASCAR news, but we'll probably have more updates in regards to Corey LaJoie on that channel as well. And also on Thursday, we'll have race picks for the Cup Series race at New Hampshire. We got a lot of content dropping this week as we get you guys closer to New Hampshire. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.